Good morning and welcome back to your Tuesday video. Anyway, we found out yesterday that the seventh plague was still not enough for Pharaoh to change his heart and change his mind. So today we are on to the eighth plague, the Plague of Locusts. We're back to bugs after animals dying and a hailstorm with thunder and lightning that literally stripped the bark off of every tree and probably killed everybody and everything that was left out in the storm. But today we go back to the locusts. All right, let's get into it. We have the first 20 verses of Exodus chapter 10. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his officials, so that I may perform these signs of mine among them, that you may tell your children and grandchildren how I dealt harshly with the Egyptians, and how I performed my signs among them, and that you may know that I am the Lord." So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go, so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will bring locusts into your country tomorrow. They will cover the face of the ground so that it cannot be seen. They will devour what little you have left after the hail, including every tree that is growing in your fields. They will fill your houses and those of all your officials and all the Egyptians, something neither your parents nor your ancestors have ever seen from the day they settled in this land till now." Then Moses turned and left Pharaoh. Pharaoh's officials said to him, "How long will this man be a snare to us? Let the people go, so that they may worship the Lord their God. Do you not yet realize that Egypt is ruined?" Then Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. Go, worship the Lord your God," he said. "But tell me who will be going." Moses answered, "We will go with our young and our old, with our sons and our daughters, and with our flocks and herds, because we are to celebrate a festival to the Lord." Pharaoh said, "The Lord be with you, if I let you go, along with your women and children. Clearly you are bent on evil. No, have only the men go and worship the Lord, since that's what you have been asking for." Then Moses and Aaron were driven out of Pharaoh's presence. And the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over Egypt, so that locusts swarm over the land and devour everything growing in the fields, everything left by the hail." So Moses stretched out his staff over Egypt, and the Lord made an east wind blow across the land all that day and all that night. By morning, the wind had brought the locusts. They invaded all Egypt and settled down in every area of the country in great numbers. Never before had there been such a plague of locusts, nor will there ever be again. They covered all the ground until it was black. They devoured all that was left after the hail, everything growing in the fields and the fruit on the trees. Nothing green remained on tree or plant in all the land of Egypt. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. Now forgive my sin once more, and pray to the Lord your God to take this deadly plague away from me." Moses then left Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord. And the Lord changed the wind to a very strong west wind, which caught up the locusts and carried them into the Red Sea. Not a locust was left anywhere in Egypt. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let the Israelites go. Finally, I kind of called it a couple episodes ago. Um, verse 7. Pharaoh's officials finally said to him, "How long will you let this man be a snare to us? Let them go. Don't you realize that Egypt is ruined? Like, nobody is thriving right now." And then Pharaoh wants to know who is gonna go worship, and says, "No, take only the men, since that was what you've been asking for." Um, and then the locust came. So, more of the same, just with locusts. Now we have obviously another plague to get to, because his heart was hardened again, and he wouldn't let the Israelites go. So this next plague is one that I think is also very cool. At least to be able to see it instead of experience it myself. But yeah, so have a great Tuesday, everybody. And I think we're almost done with the plagues. I think there are 10 total. I know that there are 10 total, but so we should be, after the next two episodes, we should be out of the plagues and on to more. It's not going to be a repetition thing anymore. But I find each individual plague like very interesting because this one, all the locusts were everywhere on the ground, so that you couldn't see the ground. So they were everywhere, and brought on a great east wind and then taken out on a west wind, so that there weren't any locusts anymore. So it's just, if you take some time to think about everything that's actually happening, it's not like you see like 10 locusts in your house and it's annoying. Literally, the whole ground in Egypt was covered with locusts so that you could not see the ground. And that's how many locusts there were. I mean, that would just be, ugh. But yeah, so we'll get to the last couple plagues in the next couple days, and then we'll continue on with the story of Moses, Aaron, and Pharaoh. But until then, enjoy your Tuesdays, and we will see you again tomorrow for our Wednesday morning video.